Hey, I have a bunch of clothes, like everyone else, but I mean sentimental clothes. You know, souvenirs you buy when you go on holiday or you go to like a festival, or I don't know, you're like really into Rick and Morty and then you buy it. The thing is, over time they kind of degrade and then you don't really wear them anymore, or other things happen that make them not fit anymore. But the point is, I don't want to throw them away. I want to keep them, but I don't want to keep them in a box. And I'm not going to wear them anymore. So what's left?
3D printing.
So I was thinking, what if I create a frame where I can just snap a piece of fabric into and then have a little square art piece? So the idea is, you see a little corner arrow thingy that's gonna pop in the sleeve, and the fabric is gonna be in between, and then on the other side is like the top view. So it's gonna have two frames that click in each other to basically tension the fabric and then hopefully work. So I've been modeling on the frame. What I do have is a model that kind of resembles that, so I'm going to show you that. So you're looking here at the essential of the mechanism that I'm going to be trying. You push it down, the fabric is in between, and then this clamps behind that part. So it has space for the fabric, and then it will try to tension in there. So this is the full thing. So this is going to be a small version, like 4 by 4 centimeters, I think. The outside, the inside. Now you can impossibly push it over. For it to be able to move, I think I need to cut out the corners so they can actually do something. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I've never done anything like this. This is what I have in mind. So this is version 0. We got a first print. The print itself is pretty nice. I'm wondering if they will bend enough to slide over. I think they might. I want to immediately test it with some fabric because I feel like once I try it, it won't release again, which is kind of the point. Let's cut up some fabric. So we're cutting up a sock as a test material. I'm also very aware that I'm left-handed and cutting with a right-handed scissor, which might be like part of the problem. And the idea in general was you can cut it bigger once it's in there. Just cut off the remainders. It's gonna be... Oh, that seems to be a tactic. Okay. We got a piece of fabric. This is the bottom part. Okay. It's kind of in there. It kind of works. The only problem, of course, is that it's stretching the fabric. And in the case of a sock, it kind of stretches like crazy. But yeah, I kind of like it. Let me cut up the remainders and get back to you. This is a small fabric frame. But yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of cute, but the whole idea is to get a bigger one, of course. There's a few issues to tackle right now. One of which is the stretching of the fabric. How do you get the exact design that you want? I think with the socks, it's way worse than with the shirts, but it's still gonna be a thing. Second, you see the little edges, the frame actually bends to get over it. They kind of don't look too nice when you're looking at the frame from the side. I took it apart, put it together again, and then I noticed that you're just able to slightly pull on the design to get it where you want to go. The stretching isn't that bad per se, and kind of the fun thing is I'm now thinking it's not really about the sentimental value of the piece anymore. Well, it kind of is, but you're also creating new art. I kind of like the fact that it became something totally different. Anyway, we're gonna go for the big ones now, so I'm gonna scale this up about 3 times, I think. I'm gonna keep the frame width the same for the big shirts, so I'm very curious. Let's go. So I printed 2 smaller ones and one of the big ones. What I did was put the slits in the inside part. Just one part of the piece needs to bend, of course. And now it's the inside piece. So I think I made a mistake. What did I do? These don't fit together. Okay, so bear with me. I'm in Fusion. This is the shape that I had in the drawing at first, and I'm also using to make a whole path around for the square. The problem is I made these slits to the inside piece, which now means that this part comes on from underneath. Do you see the problem? It needs to be able to pass that corner, and then it's fine to bend. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna slope this a bit so it can pass the point, because this part is bendy at the bottom. But yeah, the main problem being this, me thinking I'm smart, I'll just swap them around, it'll work. And this is a problem now because the whole outside is solid, it's one piece, it won't budge. And before, the outside part was the part moving. Well, back to designing. Yay. Here I am again. 2 new pieces. You can see a slight curve in here. And then I also modified the inside, the catch, the latch, the pointy thing. It's now supposed to fit like this, and it goes in. It's kind of loose right now, and I'm hoping that once I put some fabric in between that it's gonna latch and catch and be in place. So we're gonna do it right now. I got the good old sock here again with my newly developed skill of cutting fabric. That is way faster than I did before. Okay, so I got a big piece. You just fold it over like how you want it, and just push it in and be like, boop, fits into place. And then you adjust it the way you want it. I'll cut off the remainders. There we go. It's a very nice piece. V0, the new one with the intact sides. Nice. So it's time for the big ones. Let's cut up a shirt. So we got a nice Indie Megabooth shirt here. For those of you who don't know, they are usually part of like a game conference venue, and they show a bunch of indie games. I'm thinking, I guess we're gonna go for the upper part. We can make another one of the lower part later as well. Try to get a nice frame in. I'm gonna cut out the main thing first and then go from there. I got a square, so we're gonna frame this and then cut off the excess. Frame it the way we want. I'm pretty confident I can take it out again. Let's see what it looks like. Nice. I think I want it a bit lower. So surprised how good it works, actually. Not to pat myself on the back, but apart from all the blunders, of course, which were also nice. But hey, you live and learn. I really like it. Now the question is, what frame am I gonna go for? The stretching is not an issue, as you can tell with the t-shirt version. What do you think? I really like it. I'm so happy with this. Now I'm just getting like kind of FOMO on what like the most optimal framing is. Maybe I should create 2 of these. The sentimental story here, I guess, is the fact that I'm gonna try a framing with the IMDb logo on it. Not a sponsor, by the way. But I did make video games at some point, and we were an indie studio on the Indie Megabooth in, I think it was Boston. Yeah, I think it was Boston. PAX East. Let's check the framing. As you can tell, any weird shapes in the fabric, you can just correct it easily. I think I like the logo better on it. Now I'm thinking, should I print a maximum size one just for this one? I should probably do that. See you in a bit. here we are. We got the big frame. I think these are 20 by 20, and I did a print in place, which meant, due to how I designed it, they had to be upside down. And I was afraid that the front of the frame wasn't gonna be smooth. So I turned on the ironing feature, which turned out really nice. Let me show you. It's very smooth. So that worked out splendidly. We're gonna move to put the big piece of fabric as a whole in there. So I'm wondering if this is gonna fit. So let's see. And then I lay out the way I want it, which is basically the full thing. And then we're gonna push it in. Oh, it snaps into place. Let's tension it a bit more by pulling on the edges. Oh, if you pull too hard and you don't hold on, it will snap out of it. So you shouldn't do that. You can also see that where it's tensioned and where not. So it's a bit more loose, since it's harder to keep tension on the fabric. I can give it another attempt. I think this is the best it's gonna get. There we go. We got the full thing in view. I think I like the smaller ones more. They have a more of a artistic feel to it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. But what I am gonna do, I'm gonna cut this fabric to the frame, and then I'm gonna print a bunch more and make a whole collection. So see you when we get there. I wanted to jump cut to like all of them finished, but found another solution to apply the frame to the fabric. Let's take our example, original sock, and one of the smaller frames. What you can do is basically grab the inner part, put it where you want. Like, I don't have to cut out the piece that I want yet. I can just find the position I want, then slide over the front piece, and then push it all the way in. And now I have exactly what I want. And now I can still tweak it, reapply it, shift it. And when I'm happy, I can just do the following. Cut off the main big part. And then you just have a little bit remaining. And you got this nice little frame. Now it's got a little friend. Let's get to the rest of them. So I made all the frames, a lot of them, which means that I got a bunch of fabric. And what I can finally do with this bunch of fabric is throw it away. You're probably curious. Here we go. We have a lot of them. And I am very happy with the results. Let's run through them a little bit. This is the Rick and Morty one. What you can see here is the fabric is a bit loose. So what I noticed as a little flaw in the system, if you cut too much of the fabric, it will slide out of the little gap, which is the only part holding tension. This is also one of the thinner fabric, which could also be one of the reasons it tensions less. This one is a much thicker fabric, tensioned real nicely. Also really enjoy the black frame with this graphic. A little cute small one is a nice Seagate memory. So yeah, what do you think? Would you create one? Do you have the same problem as me, or am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. If you want to try it yourself, find the STLs in the description, and have a nice day. I really enjoyed the project. I'm really happy how they turned out. How I have these little mementos now instead of the t-shirts. Now it cleans up while keeping the sentimental value and creating some art along the way.